Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. Picture yourself at 4 years old. No permanent home. Your family's crammed into a housing shelter, and honestly, it's terrifying. One evening, you walk back to the shelter, and there's blood splattered across the staircase, glass shards everywhere. You've never witnessed anything this horrifying. You glance up at your mother, sensing the fear radiating from her, but she musters her courage and tells you and your sisters to watch your step and hurry to your room. Later that night, the screaming begins. Chaos echoes through every wall. Your mother pulls you close, whispering that everything's okay, but you can feel her heart racing against your cheek. She's terrified too. In that moment, in that cold, broken-feeling world, you feel invisible, like nobody cares. All you have is each other. This isn't some fictional drama. This was Vex King's actual childhood, the guy who wrote the book we're exploring today, Good Vibes, Good Life. We're talking about a book that's sold over 1 million copies and been translated worldwide, touching people from every imaginable background. But to really get why this book hits so hard, you need to understand the person behind it. Vex didn't grow up surrounded by positivity and comfort. His early years were filled with hardship, loss, and this deep, persistent pain. He was a kid who felt hurt by the world and honestly wanted to hurt it right back. And yet, somehow, he transformed all that pain into something meaningful. He uncovered these universal principles that govern our reality. Concepts that go way deeper than just slapping on a smile and thinking positive thoughts. He discovered that unlocking your potential isn't about fixing your external circumstances first. It's about changing your vibration. Here's what I'm promising you today. By the time we're done, you'll understand the single most important secret to creating a life that feels as amazing on the inside as it looks on the outside. You'll learn why just think positive usually fails spectacularly, and you'll discover the missing ingredient that actually turns wishes into reality. This isn't about pretending your problems don't exist. It's about learning how to transform your deepest struggles into your greatest strengths. This is the story of how self-love becomes an actual superpower. Let's dive in. Our journey begins where so many of ours do. Stuck and struggling. For Vex, this happened during university. He was completely broke, couldn't even afford his course books, living on basically nothing. His relationships were a mess, he was angry all the time, unmotivated, and life just felt awful. During this rough patch, he stumbled upon a book you've probably heard of, The Secret. It introduced him to this powerful concept called the law of attraction. The idea is pretty straightforward. What you think about, you bring about. Focus your thoughts on what you want, and you can supposedly attract it into your life. Skeptical but desperate, Vex decided to give it a shot. He knew exactly what he needed. About £500 to go on this much-needed holiday with his friends. He committed his thoughts to it, tried staying as positive as possible, and waited. A week later, an envelope from the tax office arrived. It said he might have overpaid on his taxes. This was it. The universe was responding. He filled out the form and sent it back. But then, crickets. Days became weeks. His friends were about to book without him, and he felt miserable. He was ready to give up completely. Then another envelope from the tax office showed up. He opened it nervously. Inside was a check for £800. He was absolutely thrilled. He deposited it. The check cleared in record time, and just days later, he was on a plane with his friends. In that moment, he became a true believer. He thought he'd cracked the code to changing everything. But then he hit a wall. A major one. The law of attraction wasn't consistently working. Life became this roller coaster of incredible highs, followed by crushing lows. The core problem, he realized, is that the law of attraction demands you stay positive all the time. But how are you supposed to maintain optimism when everything's falling apart? When a crucial group project at university implodes and threatens your final grade, how do you just think positive? During that crisis, Vex didn't feel positive at all. He felt rage, defeat. He was drowning in negative thoughts, even blaming his own mother for his problems. He thought to himself, "Great things were never meant for me." The law of attraction seemed to abandon him exactly when he needed it most. This is the frustration so many of us experience. We try being positive, but life keeps throwing punches, and keeping our thoughts in check feels impossible. Vex knew something was missing, and discovering that missing piece is what this book is really about. He realized that beyond the law of attraction, there's something more fundamental at work, the law of vibration. This is the secret. The universe doesn't just respond to your thoughts, it responds to your energy, your vibration. Think about it like this. Science tells us that everything in the universe, from a solid table to the air you're breathing, is made of atoms, and every atom is basically just a tiny vibration. Everything is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. And here's the crucial part. You're also a transmitter and receiver of vibrational energy. Vex explains this with this beautiful analogy, using tuning forks. If you have two tuning forks calibrated to the same frequency, and you strike one of them, something amazing happens. The second tuning fork, completely untouched, will start vibrating in harmony with the first. But if the forks are tuned to different frequencies, nothing happens. No transfer of vibration. Your life works exactly the same way. To attract what you want, the success, the love, the peace, you must be in vibrational harmony with it. You've got to tune your own frequency to match the frequency of the reality you're after. So the big question becomes, how do you know what your frequency is? What's the indicator? It's your emotions. Your feelings are the most honest reflection of your energy. Feelings like love, joy, and gratitude vibrate at really high frequencies. They're good vibes. On the flip side, feelings like anger, hatred, and despair have very low vibrations. And because like attracts like, when you're putting out low vibrations, you attract more experiences that'll make you feel exactly that way. This is why just thinking positive thoughts usually isn't enough. You can repeat positive affirmations all day long, but if deep down you feel unworthy or anxious, your emotional vibration is what the universe is actually picking up on. You're holding a tuning fork of doubt, hoping to attract success. It just doesn't work like that. The common misconception is that you'll feel good once you get what you want. The truth, Vex reveals, is exactly backwards. You must find a way to feel good now, to attract what you want into your life. This brings us to the engine that drives our vibration, the foundation of everything, self-love. This is probably the most misunderstood concept out there. Vex argues that real self-love isn't about bubble baths and face masks, or just accepting your flaws and calling it a day. Instead, it's this delicate and powerful balance between two essential elements. The first element is unconditional acceptance. This is the mindset part. It's about appreciating where you are and who you are, right this second. It's understanding that losing weight or getting cosmetic surgery won't magically make you love yourself more. Sure, you might feel more confident, but true self-love exists independently of any external transformation. The second element is encouraging growth. This is the action part. Improving yourself and your life is also an act of self-love, because it's recognizing that you deserve more than just settling for mediocrity. It's knowing you deserve better and then actually working towards it. He uses this perfect example. Think about how you love a partner or close family member. You accept their annoying habits and their flaws. You love them unconditionally. But if one of their habits was genuinely damaging their health, you wouldn't just accept it and stay quiet. You'd support them in making positive changes, not because you're judging them, but because you want what's best for them. Self-love is simply applying that same standard to yourself. It's balancing accepting yourself as you are, while knowing you deserve better, and then working towards it. When you achieve this balance, when you truly love yourself, your vibration naturally rises. You feel good, and so you attract good. So how do we actually do this? How do we cultivate this self-love and raise our vibration every single day? Vex provides this powerful toolkit of practical habits. First, curate your environment. Your energy is profoundly affected by the people around you. Vex puts it simply, energy is contagious. When you're not feeling great, surround yourself with people vibrating higher than you are. Their positive energy can literally lift you up. On the flip side, you've got to stay away from gossip and drama. These are low vibrational activities that feed the ego's need to feel superior by judging others. They will always drag your energy down. Second, take control of your body. What you consume consumes you. Vex introduces this fascinating research by André Simoneton, who actually measured the electromagnetic waves, the vibrations, of different foods. He found that fresh fruits, raw vegetables, and whole grains vibrate at really high frequencies. Meanwhile, things like cooked meats, processed cheeses, refined sugar, and alcohol have very low or basically no vibration. How can you feel good if you're not eating good foods? Beyond food, you can change your inner state by changing your outer state. This means using your body language. Studies have shown that if you just fake a smile, you can trick your brain into releasing feel-good hormones. Social psychologist Amy Cuddy's research on power poses found that standing in a confident posture for just 2 minutes can increase testosterone, the confidence hormone, and decrease cortisol, the stress hormone. If you act like someone who feels good, your internal state will shift and your vibration will rise. Third, master your mind. 2 of the most powerful mental habits are gratitude and introspection. Gratitude is a game changer because you literally cannot feel bad while you're feeling thankful. But it has to be deep, genuine gratitude. Vex shares this brilliant technique. When you think of something you're thankful for, say your car, don't just mumble, "Thanks for the car." Instead, imagine what your life would be like without it. Imagine not being able to get to work or pick up your kids from school in the freezing cold. When you vividly picture the absence of that thing, this wave of genuine relief and appreciation washes over you. That's powerful gratitude. When negative emotions do show up, and they will, don't shove them down. Ignoring them is like keeping poison in your system. Instead, you need to study them and transform them. Vex offers this 5-step method. 1. Identify the emotion you're feeling. 2. Challenge the thoughts behind that emotion. Are they actually true? 3. Understand the deeper meaning. What is this feeling trying to teach you about yourself? 4. Replace the disempowering thought with an empowering one. 5. Visualize yourself handling this emotion successfully in the future. And perhaps the most important spiritual practice of all is being present. Our society is completely addicted to distraction. We hold our phones more than we hold real conversations. We're constantly replaying the past or fearing the future, but now is the only time you actually have. The ultimate tool to anchor yourself in the present is meditation. Vex demystifies it perfectly. Meditation isn't about emptying your mind of all thoughts. That's impossible. It's about concentration, the practice of calmly observing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. It brings you into conscious awareness, and from that place of calm, you can manage your vibration. Now, as you start raising your vibration, you'll inevitably run into a new challenge: protecting it. This leads to a crucial part of the journey: making yourself a priority. Vex is crystal clear on this. It is not selfish to distance yourself from people who constantly drag down your vibe. The most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is walk away from a toxic situation. This applies to romantic partners who punish you for their own insecurities, to friends who don't celebrate your wins, and yes, even to family. He shares this powerful idea: you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you try helping someone in a very low vibrational state, you have to be careful not to let their energy drain yours. You must protect your own energy first. A simple way to do this is to be so positive that negative people can't stand being near you. Your high vibration becomes a natural repellent for their low vibrational energy. With your vibration high and your energy protected, you're finally ready to manifest your goals. This is where the mind work meets the real world. Vex splits this into two parts: mind work and taking action. The mind work is about programming your subconscious. As he says, your mentality is your reality. Whatever you believe to be true becomes true for you. Your subconscious mind is like deep, fertile soil. It'll grow whatever seeds you plant in it, good or bad, no questions asked. Two powerful tools for planting good seeds are affirmations and visualization. Affirmations are positive statements you repeat with conviction until they become beliefs. As Vex says, what you verbalize will eventually materialize. Visualization is creating a vivid experience in your mind before it happens in real life. Top athletes like Michael Jordan and Roger Federer have used this for decades. Why? Because your brain can't tell the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. When you visualize success, you're literally training your brain for it. But mind work alone isn't enough. This is where so many people mess up. They think they can just sit on the couch and visualize $1 million into their bank account. Vex is emphatic. Change requires action. Intention without action is just a wish. The universe will send you signs and opportunities, but it's up to you to act on them. You've got to be willing to step outside your comfort zone, because that's where growth happens. And this action must be consistent. He uses this fantastic example of David Beckham's free kicks. Beckham didn't become a master overnight. He didn't practice until he got it right. He practiced until he couldn't get it wrong. That level of consistency turns actions into habits, and habits shape your destiny. To achieve this, you've got to overcome procrastination, which Vex calls the assassination of your dreams. The key is breaking your big, overwhelming goals into small, manageable steps. Every time you complete a small step, your brain releases dopamine, a feel-good hormone that motivates you to take the next step. This journey also requires sacrificing short-term pleasures for long-term gains. Are you spending your time and money on things that give you a momentary escape? Or are you investing them in the future you actually want? Finally, all of this leads to the ultimate understanding, the final piece of Vex's philosophy: finding purpose in pain. He returns to the theme of his own life. The challenges, the heartbreaks, the struggles, they aren't random punishments. Life doesn't battle you because you're weak, he writes. It battles you because you're strong. Every painful experience is designed to teach you a lesson, to help you grow into the highest version of yourself. And here's a critical insight: lessons will repeat themselves until you learn them. If you keep finding yourself in the same toxic relationships or the same frustrating situations, it's the universe testing you, waiting for you to prove you've learned the lesson and are ready to move forward. Ultimately, your pain helps you discover your passion, and your passion leads you to your higher purpose. Everyone has a purpose, a unique gift to share with the world, and the way to find it is following what truly excites you. Those things you're naturally drawn to aren't random. They're your soul calling you home. This is how you achieve true happiness. It doesn't come from people, places, or things. It's not about, when I get X, I'll be happy. True, lasting happiness is an internal state. It's the result of living at a high frequency, in alignment with your purpose, and filled with self-love, regardless of what's happening on the surface of your life. It's peace that comes from within. As we close the pages of Good Vibes, Good Life, what stays with me most is its profound simplicity. In a world constantly telling us that the keys to happiness are outside ourselves, in our next promotion, our next purchase, or our next relationship, Vex King gently but firmly brings our focus back home, to the one place we have true control, our inner world. The most powerful lesson for me is the reframing of self-love. It's not a passive state of acceptance, it's an active, dynamic balance. It's the courage to say, I love myself exactly as I am, and in the very next breath, and because I love myself, I'm committed to becoming the greatest version of myself. That single idea resolves so much of the internal conflict we feel between self-acceptance and ambition. You don't have to choose. In fact, true growth requires both. What makes this book so impactful, especially today, is that it provides a shield against the two great thieves of modern joy, comparison and negativity. In the age of social media, we're drowning in curated highlight reels of other people's lives, making it almost impossible not to compare and feel lacking. Vex's reminder that your competition is you, and that you should only compare yourself to the person you were yesterday, is a powerful antidote to that poison. His philosophy of vibration gives you a practical framework for taking back your power. You can't control what others post, say, or do, but you can always control your own frequency. So how can you start applying this wisdom today, right now? Here are 3 simple actions you can take. First, conduct a 24-hour vibe audit. For just one day, become a curious observer of your own energy. Pay attention to how you feel after every interaction. After you scroll through Instagram, do you feel inspired or drained? After talking with a certain friend, do you feel uplifted or heavy? After eating a certain meal, do you feel vibrant or sluggish? Don't judge it, just notice. This simple act of awareness is the first step toward consciously choosing more of what raises your vibration. Second, practice the gratitude reversal. The next time you catch yourself complaining or worrying about something you don't have, stop. Take a deep breath, and then vividly imagine your life without 3 things you currently take for granted. It could be your health, a roof over your head, or the love of a single person. Feel the emptiness of that absence for a moment, and then feel the rush of relief and thankfulness as you return to your reality. Do this once a day, and you'll fundamentally rewire your brain to see blessings instead of burdens. Third, take one small, aligned action. Don't wait to figure out your grand life purpose. Just ask yourself, what's one small thing that truly excites me? Not what you should do, but what you genuinely want to do. Maybe it's sketching for 10 minutes, researching a topic you're passionate about, or sending a kind message to someone. The universe responds to action. Take one small step in the direction of your joy, and watch as the path begins to appear before you. That was a summary of Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. We've explored the core ideas today, but I'll be honest with you. Listening to a summary is like looking at a postcard of the Grand Canyon. You can see the picture, but you can't feel the awe. The real magic of this book is in the way Vex's own story and his gentle wisdom connect with you on a personal level. It's in the quiet moments when a particular phrase makes you pause and see your own life in a completely new light. This summary is your map, but if anything we've talked about has sparked something inside you, I encourage you to take the journey yourself. Grab a copy, because reading it isn't just about learning new ideas. It's an experience that can genuinely help you build a life that feels good from the inside out. A link to the book is in the description below. Also, if you found this journey valuable, please show your support by hitting that like button and, more importantly, subscribing to the channel. That way, you won't miss our next deep dive into another life-changing book from the billionaire's bookshelf. Let's keep learning and growing together.